Oh, did I mention that I'm the Great Stone Dragon? Welcome into the Bro 4 Squad podcast, where we are just a bunch of bros drinking beer and talking movies. This is episode 247, and I'm your host, the mayor, Jeff Hornacek. Thank you guys so much for joining us for the movie discussion. Before we dive into it, though, let's go around and meet my fellow bro and co-host, and it is the mad scientist, Brian Banner. Banner, 4th of July just passed, and I had been reading in a lot of the science trade magazines, which you know I'm very up to date on, that you were actually creating a new type of firework that you were quoted as saying it will explode 3 times. How did that work out?
Well, you know, they actually weren't supposed to publish that yet.
Yeah, you said that was your next quote. It's like, you're not publishing this, right? I thought it was a little fucked up that they included that in the article.
Yeah. So it went about how you expected. I do have all of my limbs, all of my fingers, digits, so that's good. My neighbor doesn't have a house anymore, but I mean, do they really need it?
Yeah, it kind of seems like a hat on a hat.
Yeah.
Are they still your neighbor then?
I mean, they're welcome to live there.
In like the lot?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
in the giant crater that the third explosion left. That was really the problem. Two was a good amount. I'm not gonna lie, I got overzealous and I did 3.
Classic. Were they escalating in terms of size?
Naturally.
Love it.
You learn from the previous, right?
Yeah, I've come to expect nothing less from you. Great way to celebrate. All right, guys, here on the Bro 4 Squad podcast, we start every episode with the most important thing in any bro's life, and that is chest day. Our chest day today, we're just going to do a classic episode where we go into our protein shake directly and talk about what is in our cup, also known as what have we watched lately. Brian, before we get started, I have one of these things that I've seen that I was going to save until Ronnie Cycli was on pod, but if you've seen it, we can have the discussion instead. Have you seen the new last season of You on Netflix?
Oh no, that's all you guys.
Okay, I will say
that's all
that.
you guys. Yeah. No, I think I've seen the 2nd and 4th season of that.
Perfect.
Yep. Definitely seen the 4th one. Yeah, because that's when he has to leave. Yeah.
This seems like a show that your wife would like, but she might have trouble convincing you to.
Oh, 1,000%. I only know about what I know about that show because I've walked in while she's watching it, and I'll watch, 2/3 of, 3/4 of the episodes.
2/3 of 3/4. I know exactly what you mean. There has to be like a phrase for the husband who like loiter. Look, my wife does this with like Love Island right now, and we're past the point where I'm not going to try and pretend like I'm not interested in it. But I think it's a rule, an unwritten rule. We can never start or ask to watch the episode.
100%. That's perfect. I do think it's okay to sit down.
Mm-hmm.
But you cannot initiate that.
I saw a TikTok the other day. It was like phases of my dad who didn't want to watch the movie. And he like starts out in the kitchen. Yep. He's like working on something. Then he's like hovering by the fridge and he's like staring. And then 30 minutes later, he's sitting on the couch, like asking questions.
Will you pass the popcorn, please?
Yeah. Why is he fucking doing that? I don't understand. Okay, we'll save You season 5, the last season, for a little bit later. Before I toss it over to you, we'll do a little round robin. I just want to tease a movie commentary track that is on our channel now. Nate Thurmond, Ronnie Cycli, and myself did a commentary on Muppet Treasure Island, which is up. Where Cycli and I...
That's my favorite Muppets.
Wow, over Christmas Carol.
It is. Christmas Carol's a close second, though.
Nice. This, of course, has the great Tim Curry as Blackbeard, which was incredible. So go check that out on our channel. Watch the movie along with us. And we're big Muppet heads, so you can imagine. A lot of glowing things to say about the crew. One thing I will tease, I don't know if you remember this, Brian, from Treasure Island.
I remember this.
The cruise vacation that Rizzo has set up on the ship looks like an absolute fucking blast, especially if you bought the drink.
100%. Yes.
Like, those rats are getting after it.
Yes. Look, if you didn't buy the drink package on his ship, you fucked up.
Definitely fucked up. And the show that they get at the end on the island when the natives fight Blackbeard and his crew, and it's like a dinner party. Like, how did he know that was going to happen?
It's a dinner. Yeah, it's like dinner and a show.
It's incredible. Because, that's like last night on the cruise ship. Let's go big or go home, right?
Yeah, go big or go home.
Perfect. All right, Brian, what's in your cup? What have you
It's
seen?
like a timeout. You can't take it with you.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm first just going to say real quick, congratulations to me and congratulations to you. We have a sports team that is at the top of the world. The Oklahoma City Thunder won the NBA championship. So congratulations to us. I've never had a team win the championship within the last like 20 years. So I forgot what this felt like. It's amazing.
And this is a fun team to root for too.
It was so much fun. Next, I literally started it yesterday, finished it before we got on pod, this show that is on Netflix. This is my fucking jam. It is a competition show about taking pictures of sharks called All the Sharks. You win this competition. To win this competition, you can't just find some of the sharks. You have to find all the sharks.
All the sharks. Got it.
If it was only like had them living together in like on a cruise ship reality show, that it was my perfect mixture of a show.
So are these people photographers?
A lot of them are
neither,
actually marine biologists, marine researchers, oceanographers.
Okay.
They're all in the industry, and it goes off of points. So they have like a point structure. Each species of shark counts for a certain amount of points.
Are there judges, or it's pretty objective how many points your picture is?
It's the producers are the judges.
Do you like see them judge it, or they just like take the photos and come back?
You see them take the photos, and at least how they present it and how the story that they tell, you can totally see who got more sharks and who didn't. Also, some of these people just did not pick the right dive sites to find them. And just didn't find some, which was kind of disappointing to see. All in all, if you won, each person, you're in pairs. So a total of $100,000 was getting donated to their conservation effort that they wanted, or their Ocean Institute or whatever. So it's going for a good cause. I'm sure there was some sort of underlying research to get it funded. Hey, let's do this. We can do research while also filming a TV show, so Netflix is paying for the research.
Do they eliminate someone each week like a lot of reality shows?
No. So there's 4 teams, and on the 5th, at the end of the 4th, somebody got eliminated. At the end of the 5th, somebody got eliminated, and the last one was only 2 teams. Each week is a different location, so they went to like 5 different continents. So they traveled. They started in I don't remember where they started, but they went to Australia, they went to Japan, they went to South Africa, the Bahamas, and the Galapagos. There's one other, I can't remember what the first place was. And each week, it was whoever had the most points. Well, I guess the first 4 were whoever had the most points after the first 4 weeks, or the least got eliminated, right?
It was like rotisserie fantasy. Like you don't have a head-to-head matchup for the first 4 weeks, but the bottom 2 drop out.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. All in all, it was a neat show. Some of the contestants were really fucking annoying. Like, honestly, I didn't want any of the teams to win.
Wow.
Just based on their personalities. But it is what it is. There's some British people in it. Pretty good, pretty fun.
In it, as Cycly would say.
Yep, in it.
Without spoiling it, are you happy with the winner? Or do you disagree with it?
It doesn't really fucking matter. I think that, yes, they probably took the most pictures of sharks. At least how they told the story. In something like this, there's really no way to know. But at the end of the day, it was just really cool. All the different sharks and stingrays and even other wildlife. Like there was one episode that had squid were spawning. And I know that sounds really fucking nerdy, but it was really cool to watch.
All the Sharks on Netflix.
All the Sharks on Netflix. Do I recommend it to you? Absolutely not. You would be so fucking bored.
How long were the episodes?
Like 40 minutes. Yeah.
All right.
It's a tough sell for you.
That's right. All the Sharks for all the marine.
Yeah. If you're a nerd head out there, and even just watching like 1 or 2 episodes, just putting it on the background if you need something on, like, oh, hey, there's some sharks. That's pretty cool.
I do love a good reality show background watch.
Yeah.
Anything else on All the Sharks?
No, that's it. It was just that was my exciting new thing. Like is there anything that says Banner more than a competition show about sharks?
But this is where you got to tip your cap to Netflix's algorithm. Like they know what we want to watch, and they're right.
Yeah,
with their recommendations, which I'm going to get to one in a second that proves it.
right.
Another thing I watched, also up on our channel, I saw the movie F1 in theaters with Nate Thurmond and newcomer to the pod, Herb Williams from the New York Knicks. When I say up on our channel, I mean our review of F1, not the movie. That would be illegal, and not even Cycly could get us out of that.
Yeah, that's a hard no for us, unfortunately. That's where Cycly finally drew the line.
So Boehner, are you an F1 guy?
I am not.
Okay, I'm not either, but Nate and Herb Williams, my brother-in-law, are big F1 guys.
Big F1 guys.
And so they had a lot of interesting things to say about this movie if you go check out a review. Another thing that I think is worth listening to our review is we watched this movie in a D-box seat.
How was that? I bet that was worth the price of admission.
Have you done it before?
I have not.
Okay, I haven't either.
I hear good things.
And now that I did it once, I really want to do it for the new Tron movie. If you don't know what D-box is, because I legitimately did not know until we booked it, it's essentially a seat that vibrates and moves throughout the movie, and it is programmed, of course, to match what you're seeing on screen. And two things about this. Number one, that might sound miserable to some of you. You do have a a toggle on the right-hand side of the seat where you can turn basically the intensity. There's 3 different levels, and then there's an off. So if you don't like it 5 minutes in, you can just straight up turn it off, and you don't have to deal with it the rest of the time.
Interesting. That would kind of suck, though, because you spent extra money on it.
Right. You do pay a little bit more for it, but if you decide it's not for you, or if it's just too much in certain parts, you can turn it down to level 1. The other thing is the D-box doesn't just take place during action set pieces. There was this couple scenes in the movie where the character played by Brad Pitt named Sonny is like jogging. And I've noticed that I felt my seat like slightly swaying with like his.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was cool. So
no way.
It's really immersive in ways that you don't even realize. So that experience alone, I would speak very highly to, and I definitely want to try it for other movies. The F1 movie itself, I had a blast with. It's akin to like a lot of classic sports movies where there's a few far-fetched things that like diehards of the sport will probably roll their eyes at and be like, dude, that's a little too much. But it's, it's like sports movie-esque.
Cute.
Brad Pitt, I actually don't think is at his best in this, but Javier Bardem, Damson Idris, who plays like the young up-and-comer in the movie, who's also rumored to be the next Black Panther, is awesome. And Kerry Condon is great in it as well, who you might remember from Banshees of Inisherin, and she's actually the voice of Friday in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
A couple of Marvel times. But I liked F1 a lot. It's a little bit too long. It's, I think, 2 hours, 35 minutes.
Whew.
Yeah, it's a hefty commitment, but seeing it in the experience that we did was really fun. This is one of those like summer movies where it's like, I know it's harder for us to get out to the theaters now, but you got to do this stuff every once in a while just because of our love for film and the innovations that they're trying to put in to make the experience, more on the edge of technology, I guess. So I'm glad that we did it $2.
I mean, not to get into it too much, but if the theaters can do something to get our viewership back to the theaters and away from the streaming services, I am all about it.
That's a good point, because I know a lot of us have great home theater setups now, but stuff like that, like you said, is a reason to justify spending it was $25 a ticket, which is, it's not cheap for sure, but I do think it was worth it to go see it in D-box. Now, having said that, if you have a good IMAX theater near you or Dolby, I still think that would be a blast as well.
Yeah, I personally am not a big fan of the IMAX. It's just too much screen for my eyes to keep up with.
The theater by me, the IMAX still has the old seats, so I can't.
Yeah, and that's a big problem for me also.
Yeah, the seat is probably the most important thing now in a movie theater because I'm old as fuck.
Yeah, I'm not even a big snack guy when I go there. I might nibble on a little bit of popcorn, but
yeah,
that's it.
We're getting old.
It happens.
All right, what else you got?
All right, let's see. I went and saw Final Destination Bloodlines.
I saw this too.
Have you talked about it yet?
I don't think so, actually.
I don't think so. Nice. What'd you think?
Loved it.
Absolutely loved it.
Yeah,
this is what I want in my Final Destination movies. None of it's realistic, and it was just beautiful.
Let me just say, no spoilers here.
Yes.
Gave it an extra on Letterboxd, an extra full star bump for the last 3 seconds of the movie.
I didn't see it coming.
I love that they did that.
I did too. It was, I will agree, it couldn't end better, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best way to end it.
Yeah.
I suggest going to see this. There were some great kills, actually a decent story to it. It wasn't as absurd and ridiculous as you might think.
Some really fun characters,
really fun characters.
Pretty much like all the teenagers in this are really, really watchable. Yeah. The punk dude was my absolute.
He is my favorite. Yep, I was just about to say that.
Total scene stealer.
Yeah. The guy, yeah, there were some really good kills and very versatile. You've got a lot of different locations.
Yep.
We moved a lot, which was great as well.
I'm not I've seen all the Final Destinations, but I'm not totally caught up in the lore. But apparently this one ties together several of the previous movies pretty well. But I can say this, a Final Destination gets the assignment. And so if you're not caught up on the canon of the series, it will not affect your viewing of this at all if you're worried about that.
I will say this is like Saw light in that aspect, right? Very similar styles of movies. They both have an interconnecting story between all of them, with different kinds of kills. I would say this is like the kid glove version. They understand this is supposed to be fun, where Saw is like, we want to gross you out in every way possible.
Yeah. I gave it a Brosker nomination for best blockbuster movie.
We might just want to give it the Brosker now and save the money in February.
Interesting.
I mean, we could write it off on this year's taxes instead of next year's taxes.
That is true. We're big on the taxes.
Tax guys.
We'll have to look into that.
All right. What else you watched?
I saw, let me go pull up my list here real quick. Oh, just watched this week. Ballerina from the world of John Wick.
Okay.
I'm a huge John Wick head.
Yes, I am as well.
Love Ana de Armas. So this was right down my alley. I just had to wait for it to come out on digital because, again, getting to the theater a little bit trickier now. Love this movie. Was not disappointed in the slightest. Incredible action, as you would expect. The story does kind of play into the trope of I'm getting revenge for something that happened in my past, but it did it in a way that I was not seen it before, bored of it. And Boehner, there is an action set piece that takes place in this mountain ski lodge restaurant in Prague that is so much fucking fun. Just the creative things in this restaurant that Ana de Armas uses to kill people. And it's really creative because it's in the middle of the dinner rush. So there's a lot of hot plates and fires and boiling water and shit like that they can use to attack each other. And I just thought it was so well done. And the environment of snowy mountain and everyone's all bundled up and cozy. And then this fucking crazy set piece breaks out in the kitchen. And
all I can think of as you were describing that is the kitchen scene in, was it Slapshot?
Sudden Death.
Sudden Death. That's what it was. I knew if I said that, you would get it.
Yeah, check out our commentary on Sudden Death, the Jean-Claude Van Damme film where he fights the Pittsburgh Penguin in a kitchen.
That's all I could think about. What you were saying was beautiful, and I didn't want to ruin it and interrupt you, but all I could see was him stabbing the penguin with that knife.
I mean, nothing will ever top that. I don't want to put this on that level. It's an unfair bar, but I loved it. I love Ballerina. John Wick is in a decent amount of it.
Okay.
I would say he's probably in 15% of the movie. But
so definitely not enough where you're okay, this is a John Wick movie with so-and-so in it.
Yeah, I think it was a good balance because I didn't feel like it was false advertising to say it's in the world of John Wick. I also didn't feel like he took over the movie. And then I also didn't feel like they gimmicky put him in 1 or 2 scenes. And I'm what's even the fucking point of that?
Beautiful.
So, yeah, it was very strategically done. Apparently, this takes place during John Wick 3.
Oh.
if you're like big into the canon, there is a scene that's kind of cool with John Wick and the ballerinas, because that's where he goes there in the third one and meets Angelica Houston. And we see a scene, but from a different character's perspective, which I always think is cool.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So that was a cool one. So if you like the John Wick movies, you will love this. And it comes in right at about 2 hours. So didn't overstay its welcome, which is big these days.
Yeah.
2 hours for me is like the drop dead point. If you go past that, it's going to be really hard for me, no matter how good the movie is, to like really enjoy it. And you can call me an old curmudgeon, but that's just for whatever reason. 120 minutes is like my, all right, what are we doing here? Threshold.
I mean, I think that's a fair one. And I think when you're getting into the 2.5 hours, like now we're talking about percent of my day.
Right.
And that's a problem.
Absolutely. All right. Ballerina, go check it out. What else you got?
All right. Recently had some time where I had to download a bunch of shows and stuff. And I went through the Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Empire, and Tales of the Underworld.
Shit.
Jeff,
now are these the shorts?
So they're like mini series. So each one is 6 episodes. Each season follows 2 storylines. So Tales of the Jedi, the first 3 episodes are one story, the second 3 are another story. Then Tales of the Empire, and so on. One of these is them getting Ahsoka, bringing Ahsoka.
I did see that. So these are canon, right?
Yes, 100% canon. Some of them are Dooku's fall to the dark side, which was fun as well.
Always interested to see that.
If you're big into the Star Wars canon and all of that, and all the animated shows, as I am, these are absolutely fantastic. Ventress, who is a huge character in Clone Wars, you actually think that she dies in one of the books that is canon. In this, it shows that she didn't die, and she's still a fucking badass.
Does this address the Bad Batch with her?
Yes. No, but you can see. So she's in the Bad Batch. At that point, this wasn't out. So you're like, wait a minute, she's supposed to be dead. I'm confused. And this totally makes all of that make sense.
Interesting.
Yeah. Cad Bane, again, another big character.
Love Cad Bane.
You see his origin story. Phenomenal.
When you say his origin story, do you mean like his turn to evil bounty hunter?
Yeah, like you see him when he's a kid stealing candy from the candy store, and it goes from there.
That's how it all starts.
It's how it all starts. I highly recommend these, though. If you're into Star Wars, and especially the animated shows and how it all works together, and you have this universe where this is going on while that's going on, this is really fucking cool.
How many of each are there?
There's only 1 Jedi, 1 Empire, and 1 Underworld. So
oh wow,
it's 6, 12, 18 episodes total. Each one's like the 23 minutes, maybe not even that. Some of them are like 17.
This is on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus, yeah. Like I said, really easy watches. Like I said, I recently went on a trip, downloaded them, and that's what I watched on the flights, and got pretty far into it.
I'm very interested. And most of these are like way early on in the Star Wars canon, like you said, like usually like character origins and stuff.
Some of them are not. As far as like the timeline of when they are, and there is some jumping. So some of them you have like Qui-Gon Jinn as an apprentice, then you have Obi-Wan as an apprentice, still talking to Dooku. So the timeline jumps a little bit, but it's all linear and easy to follow.
Age-wise, how close are Qui-Gon and Dooku?
Man, I don't think they're that close. I would say like
Qui-Gon could have been Dooku's apprentice.
No, Qui-Gon was Dooku's.
Oh, he was. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was.
Interesting.
So there's probably like a 35 to 40 year gap between them, I would say.
Wow. Damn.
Maybe not that much.
Because I assumed like if
how much do you think is between Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan? Like 30 years, maybe?
Probably like 25, 30 years.
25,
So that's
30?
why I assumed if Qui-Gon had survived and was still alive in Attack of the Clones, I would imagine he would have looked about Dooku's age.
Yeah, maybe, I guess. Maybe there's maybe there's like 10 years apart between
Because
them.
like, how old do you think Obi-Wan is in Attack of the Clones? Like 35?
An Attack of the Clones.
When Anakin's like 19, probably.
Nah, I think he's supposed to be more like 29, 30.
Obi-Wan?
Yeah.
So he's
He
only
doesn't
like,
age well. We know
so
that.
he's only like 10 years older than Anakin?
I think so.
Okay.
Because how old is Anakin in Phantom Menace?
8?
And how old is Obi-Wan?
25, probably.
No way. I'll give you 20.
You think
25?
Ewan McGregor's 20, or his character's 20 in Phantom Menace? Damn. I don't know, maybe.
I don't know.
We'll have to write this down sometime.
Yeah.
People at home are like, Cillian Murphy's like, move it on, lads.
All right.
Right,
Tales of the Jedi Empire Underworld. Highly suggest go watch them.
They're all separate series, though, right?
Yes.
But just type in Tales of, they'll come up, I'm sure.
Of course they would.
All right, last thing I'm going to mention tonight. Really mad at how much I like this movie.
Uh-oh.
Heads of State on Prime Video. Have you seen any advertising for this?
I've seen the advertisements, but I was like, I don't know if I can do it.
Yeah, well, John Cena is the president. Idris Elba is the prime minister. Priyanka Chopra is a secret server, a CIA agent. It's an action comedy, and god damn it, I took the bait and I enjoyed myself quite a bit. I don't know what it is about John Cena, man. I fought and fought and fought as much as I can, but I think I like him.
No,
I think I like him, man. This one,
I think I lost a little respect for you.
it's pretty tongue-in-cheek, like they get it. And Idris Elba, dude, this is going to be a guy we're going to have to analyze his career in like another 10 years.
Man,
I can't quite figure it out.
is he a good actor?
I don't know, like, what is he? You know,
I don't know.
he's in a lot of stuff. I usually enjoy the stuff he's in, but like his choices, I don't feel like match my perception of him. You know, like, and I'm totally fine with that, but I feel like I view him as like this really serious thespian with a lot of talent, and he might have a lot of talent, but I am not like complaining about this at all because I love it and I would do the same thing. But he just picks like fun, silly movies.
I feel like his career is the opposite of Steve Carell. Steve Carell started with like really silly slapstick comedy, and then now he does just almost straight serious movies.
Yeah, he's gone like too far the other end. Like,
right.
Takes himself too seriously. Yeah, Idris Elba's almost done the inverse. Like he started on The Wire and Luther and did a lot of like really serious shows.
Yeah.
And now he's Knuckles. He's in the Suicide Squad. He's in Heads of State.
I mean, good for him. He's having a time of his life.
Absolutely.
Sure.
And he's making a shit ton of money, and good for him. I feel like my perception of him is not the guy that takes a lot of those roles. So maybe I'm the fucked up one. I'm the one that needs to like reevaluate.
Yeah, this is a you problem.
Yeah, 100%. But I enjoyed this movie more than I care to admit. If you want like a dumb action comedy that will actually make you laugh and does some pretty interesting things with like the idea. The idea is they end up stranded in like the wilderness somewhere, and they have to get to a safe house, and they're both like look like they're action heroes, but they're really not. Although it's hard to believe. John Cena's character used to be like a movie star, which obviously in the current political landscape is sadly something that very much could happen.
Yeah.
So he's never like actually kicked someone's ass, but he's like, my stunt double has, and I watched him do it from 10 feet away. So that kind of goes, learned from that.
It's kind of funny, actually.
Heads of State. The trailer is not trying to trick you. You'll know exactly if you'll like this movie from that, and it's not selling you a false bill of goods. And I ate it up. Kind of ashamed to admit it.
Well, I'm glad that you admitted it. We all feel a little bit better when we admit it.
Yeah. It's the first step.
Last thing I'll talk about, fairly generic. Phineas and Ferb. Did you watch Phineas and Ferb as a kid? I did not.
No.
It was a little past us.
The Fairly Odd Parents, was that like on around the same time too?
Yeah, maybe.
That like kind of missed me. Like I wasn't quite Yeah, that was like a little bit past my time of watching.
So it was mine too. So recently they came out with new episodes of it, and Baby Banner wanted to watch them. She's like, "Yeah, let's try it." And I was like, "Why not?" Guys, Phineas and Ferb is fucking hilarious.
Really?
It is hilarious.
Is this on Disney?
It is on Disney.
Because I thought it was a Nickelodeon show for some reason.
It was not. It was not. I think Fairly Odd Parents was a Nickelodeon show. Maybe it was a Nickelodeon show, but it's on Disney Plus now.
All right.
Hilarious. The sister is Ashley Tisdale.
Okay. What's the premise again of Phineas and Ferb?
So the premise is it's summer break, and Phineas and Ferb are stepbrothers.
Okay.
And
are they
Phineas
humans?
Yes, humans.
Okay, I don't know why I thought they were like animals.
Because they're really weird shaped. I don't know. That's the one thing I don't understand. The animation is interesting.
That means
yeah, okay. But the stories are hilarious and the dialogue is hilarious.
How did Baby Banner even know about this show?
It came up. It was like new episodes you might like, and she goes, "What is this?"
And were you like, there can't be new episodes of Phineas and Ferb?
Yeah, I was really confused, but we went back and we watched them. They're great. Anyway, it's summer break and they're stepbrothers, and so every day they're like, "What do you want to do today?" And the sister is in charge for whatever reason, and she's trying to catch them doing something bad, and they're like building rocket ships to space and having these crazy space adventures, and somehow they get home and the whole yard looks normal by the time mom gets home.
Love that.
Yeah. The first episode, they build a roller coaster in their backyard.
That's fucking cool.
And somehow by the time mom gets home from the grocery store, it's all gone. And ridiculous things happen of why the things disappear.
This show is giving kids false confidence.
Oh, 100% false confidence. Then there's this whole side story where they're like, they don't have a dog, they have a pet platypus.
Right.
And the platypus, though, is actually a secret agent that fights like this evil doctor on the side.
Once you've made the sale, quit selling.
Dude, it is so fucking hilarious.
It sounds ridiculous.
It's
amazing. Like how Dexter's Lab would occasionally have like a weird side story in it that would involve like either the Powerpuff Girls or like they would rope in like other shows.
Yeah.
Those characters.
It's not quite that bad because it's literally just like a one-on-one fight between these two. Sometimes the two intersect, and that's how like the roller coaster will disappear, is because the evil doctor's new invention. And it's completely absurd. It's so much fun.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Has Baby Banner asked to go back and watch the OG Phineas and Ferb?
Oh yeah, we're on like season 3 of the OG now.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's like 5 or 6 seasons. Apparently, I mean, obviously it was pretty popular back in the day, and then for them to bring it back. I'm
looking this up right now. Okay, I do remember this animation really distinctly now.
Yeah, it's very blocky and triangular.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. Didn't know it's back. Doesn't look like it costs a lot of money, so
it definitely does not cost a lot of money.
And if it does, what are we doing?
There's also always a song. Like there's almost always a song, and they're hilarious.
Like original songs?
Yeah,
that's awesome. All right, I'm all out. You got anything else?
Nope, I'm good.
How do you spell Ferb, by the way?
F.
F-E.
That's a capital F. E-R-B.
I don't know why I was thinking it was like Furby, like F-U-R-B.
That's because we have PTSD from Furbies when we were children.
Phineas and Ferby, that would be a crossover I would watch. All right, that brings us to the end of our show.
You lift, bruh?
That parrot saying, "Do you even lift, bruh?" is also the name of our last segment. Our question and answer segment, where we ask you a question similar to, "Do you even lift, bruh?" that we leave you with. Today's question is the continuing, what are the Bros' top 100 movies of all time? We started this countdown about 2 years ago. We have now entered, for most of us, the top 30 films of all time. on our respective lists. The link to these countdowns and our lists is going to be in the description of this episode. It is also at the top of our website, bro4squad.com. Brian, we're going to have you count down the next 2 on your list, beginning with your 30th favorite film of all time and then your 29th. But before we do that, why don't you explain to the people, in case they're new to the show or just don't quite remember, what are these top 100 lists? Because as we always say, this is not like a film student's curated top 100 pieces of cinema. It's a little bit different.
Yeah, no, this is my top 100. I don't have to defend why this movie is number 89th out of the 1,500 movies that I've watched in my life. Sometimes it's because it brings back a nostalgic feeling. One of Jeff's didn't know this. It was the very first DVD they ever had.
Rush Hour 2.
Yeah. So something ties it to why you like this movie. It may just be, honestly, I just put it up against another one, said, do I like it more? And somehow it landed this high. I don't know how it happened.
Yeah. I highly encourage you to put together this list on your own.
It's very difficult.
It may seem daunting, but here's how you do it. You take a Google sheet, think of any movie you've ever watched, and it's almost like a game of Plinko where you just drop it in like Connect 4, see how far down it falls. So let's say I've seen Jaws, put on my list. Then I've seen The Dark Knight. Is it better or worse than Jaws? If it's better, it goes above it. If it's worse, it goes below. And as you think of movies, just do that. Drop it in the wood chipper, see how far down it falls. And you'd be surprised based on your own nostalgia and memories. Number one, how fun it is, but I think also where some movies slot in. Because going back at my list, I was like, oh, that's interesting that I like that movie that much. But I just do. It's a feeling I have. Like you said, I don't need to defend it, and I'll fight anyone that wants to fight me about it, but I shouldn't have to.
But you will.
I will. And I'm a biter. This should be noted.
He is.
All right, Banner, your number 31 film of all time, last we checked in with you, was Jaws.
Jaws,
Got
yep.
a movie commentary on that.
First ever blockbuster.
Oh, yeah. Actually coined the term, right?
Yep, it did.
Mine was Dumb and Dumber. And this is crazy. Nate Thurmond and Ronnie
Fucking
Cyclone
wild.
was Get Out.
Wild. That they
And I
were
can
the exact same with the same one.
I think that's the second time this has happened on our list, and I can assure anyone out there listening, the bros had zero communication about these lists prior to revealing them.
No, nobody knows what each other's lists are until we release it live.
Yeah. Now we can take some guesses as to what's like in people's top fives, but that's just all they are.
That's just because we know them.
Correct. So, Banner, what will be your number 30 film of all time? Joining, for me, the movie Prisoners by Denis Villeneuve. Nate Thurmond had Whiplash, and Ronnie Cycli had Donnie Darko.
Oh, man, that's a good one.
Yeah. What's your number 30?
X2, X-Men United.
Nice.
This, obviously X-Men and Spider-Man kind of started this superhero science that we had for the next 20 plus years, right? X2 proved that, hey, we can make a second one and it be a competent and well-made movie with some really fucking cool effects and continue to push the genre. I like this story. It also kind of more or less set them on that path of the other movies, whether you can follow the timelines or not, but that's fine. It's whatever.
Yeah, think about
best opening scene of any superhero movie ever.
Agreed. Yeah, the Nightcrawler in the White House is fucking phenomenal. Yeah, we got 2 great sequels to superhero movies, early 2000s. This, and I think you might have mentioned Spider-Man 2.
Yep. Spider-Man 2 is, as far as better movie made, it's probably better than this. Spider-Man 2 is really fucking good.
Yeah. But yeah, like you said, the superhero science was in full force then.
Yeah, these guys were the foundation, those pillars that the MCU and the few good DC movies that we've gotten over the years kind of stood on there in the early 2000s.
Got our introduction to the Weapon X program, a very dark take on it as well, which was cool.
Yep. Guys, that's it. X2, great movie. You should watch it.
Beautiful. Been a while since I revisited this. I did watch the original X-Men like 2-3 years ago, and it held up really well. So,
if I'm not mistaken, X2 is 88th on your list.
Wow.
And I think it's 93rd on Geiger's.
Yep, 93rd on Geiger's, and where's it at on mine? It is. Yeah, 88th. Wow.
Look at that. I know
Good,
my shit.
good control effing there. All right. Now we move on to our last one of the night, number 29 on your all-time list. Mine is the 40-Year-Old Virgin. We haven't got to Nate Thurman's yet, and Ronnie Cycles is the David Fincher movie 7. What will be joining them at number 29 on your list?
Before I say this, in all honesty, when you look at my list, you're like, this is ridiculous. Is that just, can you comment on my list so far?
I will say this about your list. 2 things. It's uniquely yours, which you have to do. And then number 2, every time you have a ridiculous one, you usually follow it up with a pretty strong run of like, oh, okay, yeah. Got it.
All right. Here's another strong one. Catch Me If You Can.
Oh, yeah.
This was probably my first like true introduction where I was like, wait, this was based on real stuff. Like I can go and like look this up. And that was kind of the first time that I remember like, holy shit, this wasn't just a made up story. Like right. I thought all movies were just fiction and out of somebody's head, unless it was a documentary. Like the biopic, like just didn't click in my head, and this made it click.
Yeah, because it seems too crazy to be true, basically, when you watch it.
The cat and mouse, like you're like, there's no way it could be like that. I mean, it was.
Right, he's gotten away with this basically his whole life.
Great performance by Leo, great performance by Tom Hanks.
I mean, I know this might sound crazy. This is one of Spielberg's best movies, I think.
Oh, for sure. I think so. And especially, I mean, the closer you get to present day, the worse I feel like his movies have gotten, right?
Probably, yeah.
I mean, he may have had a hit here or there, but
did he do Ready Player One?
Yeah, it was fine. Some of the effects were cool that he did in it, but I hate Ty Sheridan.
Right.
So that was a big glaring scar before it even filmed a scene.
The cast in this movie, I mean, this was 2002. Sorry, X2 was 2003. But if you look at this, there's a lot of people like right before they really exploded. Ellen Pompeo, probably at the beginning of Grey's Anatomy. Jennifer Garner coming off Alias. A young Elizabeth Banks. I mean, obviously, the male leads are a little more established because they're older. Sheen, Christopher Walken, those guys. But and Hanks, of course. But
James Brolin.
That's right. Yeah, James Brolin was in this. Really, I would say a unique movie as well. Like not the type of story you typically see.
It was a cat and mouse movie. Like I don't know that there's another movie that's like this, right? Where they definitely respect each other, and you know that, and they know that, and it is a game.
Yeah, and it's almost like Hanks like doesn't want to catch him.
There's like this weird. There's this weird respect there that somehow they capture. It's a really good movie. Another John Williams score, I believe.
Oh yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
but I mean, if it's a Spielberg movie, that makes sense.
That is true. Yeah, he has his. That's like his first call for a composer, and if he,
I don't know what he's gonna do when he dies next year.
Wait, next year? Do you know something we don't know?
The guy's like 97 years old.
I know he's up there in age. He's still working though.
If I'm playing the odds, like it's not a bad bet.
Didn't we try and kill Betty White off on this pod though for like a decade, and she kept coming back for more.
She did.
We've probably looked up if Betty White said more.
Love me some Betty White.
Yeah. Awesome. Catch Me If You Can. Good one. Before we move on to the end of the show, Banner, I do have to say, Hans Zimmer, I know you have kind of a love-hate relationship with him. He did the F1 score, and dude, it fucks.
That's it.
So good. Probably the best part of the movie was his score. It gave me like a lot of Tron Legacy vibes.
Nice.
Yeah, so if I would for you, I know, go on Spotify after this and listen to just some of his score from that. You're going to love it.
I do. I will. Yeah. Look, when I like when I like Hans Zimmer, I love Hans Zimmer.
Yeah, this
but when
is
I don't
good
like
Hans
it, I really don't like it.
I'm with you. Yeah. Sometimes his shit, I'm like, dude, all your stuff sounds exactly the fucking same. This is, he kind of tones it down a little bit. Like it's less in your face, but it really, really works for the movie.
Nice. Well, I mean, how are you going to out-sound race cars?
Yeah. He kind of tried to sound like race cars. That's, I think, the move that he took. Pretty much that. Yep. Pretty much that. Brian, anything else for your top 100?
No, I always encourage people to go back and do this, or to go do this. It's a really fun exercise. It's everything you said. It's got the nostalgia. It's fun. It's, oh yeah, I forgot about that movie. I don't know how many movies I was like, I need to rewatch that movie because I remember it being awesome.
Yeah.
And then it's fun to go back and be like, wow, that really wasn't as awesome as I remembered it. Or vice versa. You're like, wow, it was way better than I thought of it.
The other fun thing, kind of the inverse of it, is figuring out, like, quantitatively, what is my least favorite movie of all time. And we'll have to do an episode at some point soon, even though we might have each mentioned it.
I know I've mentioned mine. I'm very
where we just talk about our least favorite movie ever, because that would be fun. But you can legitimately say, like, I've done my ranking, and this isn't just a movie I hate. It is actually the worst movie I've ever seen, in my own opinion.
In my own opinion, it's not necessarily the worst ever made, because there's some movies that are really far down on my list that were very competently made, and I'm sure there's some people that like them. I just hated them.
Yeah,
like Suburbicon.
Yep, I remember that. If I'm bored as fuck with your movie, it can be well made. I'm still not going to like it.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't have to. Fuck you. All right, Brian, before we let the people go, for episode 247, any closing words of wisdom, any advice?
Guys, let's just remember those emergency vehicles, they're there for a reason. So just get out of the way. It's not going to, pulling over for 5 extra seconds at most is not going to ruin your day or make you that much more late than you already are. All right, let's just keep it up. It's getting hot out there. Everybody stay hydrated. We don't need those emergency vehicles coming to you because you didn't drink enough water.
Good point. Yeah, there's enough other emergencies out there that need precedence.
Emergency.
I'll give another one about driving for my advice. If construction is happening on the side of the road or in the median, you don't need to slow down traffic to look at it. Odds are you're not going to be able to tell what the fuck's going on anyway. And also, it probably won't be that cool. So keep the flow of traffic going. We don't need you to stare at the guys that are paving the fucking median, okay?
But what if it's a Dairy Queen?
Okay, well, that's a totally different situation. I'm not talking about that. You're trying to move the goalposts again. All right. For the mad scientist, Brian Banner, I'm the mayor, Jeff Hornacek. We are the Bro Force Squad podcast. Thank you so much for checking us out. We appreciate your support. Follow us on Twitter, Threads, and Instagram at Bro Force Squad. Type in Bro Force Squad as 3 separate words on Letterboxd, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and probably most importantly, YouTube. Find all of our stuff there. Everything we've ever posted, along with the aforementioned top 100 lists on our website, broforcesquad.com. Till next time, I really want a Blizzard now from Dairy Queen. What's your go-to Blizzard treat?
Ooh, I'm a dip cone guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dip cone is just like a waffle cone with chocolate?
Yeah. You just fill that bitch up and dip it in the chocolate. And...
Damn. So then do you not get chocolate ice cream? You'll get like a vanilla to go?
Oh, always vanilla ice cream. I'm not a chocolate ice cream guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm a chocolate topper, vanilla ice cream.